All right. Well, good morning, everyone. It is Thursday, October 10th, 2013. My name is Dave Hunsinger, and welcome to Keystroke Live. Today we are going to be talking about the MagTek iPad. It's a pin pad device, and October is kind of pin pad month here at Keystroke Live. So we've got the iPad this week, the ID Tech Sign and Pay next week, and the Mercury Genius the following week. So come learn all about. And I get a little rusty sometimes, so they gave me the easy one. And I really like this device, as you will see. The Keystroke Live every Thursday, same login information. We try to send out an email on Wednesday to remind you, and so you have that quick and easy to get to. The MagTek iPad, it comes in two flavors, the iPad and the iPad SC. One has a signature capture and one doesn't. It's pin entry, secure data. It uses end-to-end encryption, so the card swipe is encrypted at the device and then unencrypted at the other end when it gets to the processor. So Keystroke never sees any of the, they call it the PAN, personal account number information. It's always encrypted, and then we get back a token, which is basically just a transaction ID. You could think of it that way, so that if we ever need to go and reverse the transaction or do anything, that's how we identify it, is with the token. Duck put encryption, and it's PCI PED compliant. This is where we'll use the video. This is the device here. This is the MagTek iPad SC signature capture. The MagTek iPad is exactly the same. It just doesn't have this little screen here. So card swipe at the top, stylus, signature capture screen, number pad, OK button, cancel button. Pretty simple, pretty quick and easy to do. So now you're going to see me move around a little bit here. Here is the pin pad, and oh, here it is. Here is the other end of the cable. It is just a USB, and I'm going to, you see it's not powered up right now. I am going to plug it in as I lean across here, and you kind of get this initializing. This is all you see, even when you plug it into a computer that's never seen the iPad before. It's kind of like plugging in a thumb drive or a new keyboard. It's just a USB device, and so there's the hardware setup. It's ready to go. So I'm going to set down the pin pad and switch over to Keystroke to show you what's it about. Oh, I hit the keyboard and popped up the pricing there. That's the pricing from Mercury. You can also use this device with Merchant Warehouse and get it from them too. So this device I'm holding is about $300. It's about $250 without the signature capture. The couple of caveats with this device, some of the first revisions, the mag stripe was difficult to read. They say they've conquered it. I don't know what the reports from the field are. The other thing is, if you get this, make my head look bigger, if I get it back in perspective, the signature capture screen is pretty small. So it's often, if you've got like maybe a hospital gift shop or something where there's folks that have trouble writing or a little older, it's kind of difficult to write in the small area. So those are kind of the knocks on it. I'm going to switch over into Keystroke right now. And I'm in the Sales Manager here, but I'm going to go to the Configuration. Just hit the letter C, select Hardware. You can hit the letter I for pin pad. The only setup here, like if I had this set to none, I select pin pad type, MagTek iPad. It immediately goes to that USB port, knows exactly what to do. You can run this test and it says, okay, I see it connected. Now my pin pad beeps and pops up here. It's asking me to swipe the card. So I'm going to go ahead and swipe. And it said it did that. And now it is asking me, I'll see how closely I can get this. I can manually enter an account number, an expiration date, and a code. So I can go ahead and I am just typing in numbers, hit enter, type them in, hit OK, and there it got my fancy card number. Now it's coming up and asking for testing the pin entry. So I can just enter 1, 2, 3, 4, hit enter. It's valid. I select OK, pin pad test complete. Easy as that. You don't want to forget to also set up the signature capture. So, because there's the pin pad with the signature capture and without, we've got this set separately. And again, here I just select the MagTek iPad. It uses that USB port. This wait time is people kind of want to vary on will it sit there for 10 seconds or 20 seconds? Do I want to display it on the screen? I'm doing that. I won't go ahead and test it because we'll do that later. And then we also, under sales payment types, we need to have I'm using Visa MasterCard. I've got my auth method of KP credit. I'm just going to hit F3 here to take a look at how that's set up. Everything is here default. I'm not doing multiple settings IDs or anything. Really, the only thing I turned on was capture signature. And I set the card reader rather than none or wedge. That's if you're just using a card swipe, you do that. And it's pin pad card swipe only. Now for EBT or debit, I would select pin pad duck put. That would allow me to enter the PIN number. And I'm just going to go ahead and save that. Now, if I get to the right one, am going to switch to the KeyPay settings. Hopefully everybody can see that okay. Just using my default settings. Remember, this device will work with Mercury Payment Systems or Merchantware and Merchant Warehouse. The business name is a Merchant Warehouse setting, so it can really be whatever for Mercury Payment Systems. You can't use the typical Mercury test number, the 494901 or 595901, with the end-to-end encrypted device or tokenized. There's a separate test account, and the device that we have, this one is encrypted with Mercury's test account as opposed to Mercury's live account. So we use a little bit of different information to test it. And now, there it is. So I've got the merchant number. I'm using tokenization. And with Mercury, you want to be sure they have the end-to-end encryption turned on and the tokenization. It's two little things they have to check for the account to get this device to work. I'm using the tutor data directory and just have internet only set up. It's pretty basic, straightforward settings there for the iPad. And now I'm going to go back to Keystroke. And I'm just going to get out of here and go to the Sales Manager. And you saw it flashed pretty quick there, but when you've got the pin pad turned on, it does test it when you go into sales here. Now I'm going to sell some pack of golf tees here and select Visa MasterCard. So if you see the device, it's labeled, if I can hold this up right, it's labeled please wait. Now I select Visa MasterCard. Comes through asking me to swipe the card. Now I'll see how many hands I have here. So I'm going to pick up the card and go ahead and swipe it. It's asking me, please wait. It approved the authorization. I select OK. Now it's asking me for the signature. I can take the stylus. I could also just use my fingertip. Look at that signature. Pretty fancy. And then I have to hit the OK button. It says press OK there. There I displayed it. Yeah, that looks like a signature kind of. There's a credit card receipt. I can also, I set up this is one of our default forms. Hopefully you can see this full page invoice, but this is the one at the bottom. We're printing the signature. So you can do that. This is, again, a default invoice in Keystroke where it prints the signature as well, along with the last 4 digits of the credit card number. Just going to go ahead and close that. Now I'm ready for the next sale. That is the MagTek iPad. Obviously, if you don't have the MagTek iPad SC, if you just have the regular one, there's not a signature capture on it. It's pretty basic. I'm going to go back to my slideshow here. Again, this device runs about $300. If you look at the back of it, it's kind of out of focus, but when it's encrypted by Mercury, it will have that little MPS sticker on it. Same thing with Merchant Warehouse; they'll have their identifier on it as well. It's a nice device, fits in your hand well. Very easy to set up, as are most of these devices. And again, the card swipe did have problems. They say they conquered it. I don't know if anybody has any input on whether or not that has improved over time here. Can be used for debit, credit, EBT, cover all the bases, and Mercury also you can rent them for $12 a month. So that is what I have about the MagTek iPad, worst named device in the world. But they say they had iPad before Apple did, so that's why they use it. Does anybody have any questions or any comments on how the iPad has worked in the field?
Dave, do you have any problems with on some machines with the USB power management? Do you usually turn that off?
You know, I haven't. There are some machines where you have to turn it off and some you don't, but usually we haven't seen a whole lot of problems. I think that often happens too if you've got like USB printers and cash drawers and a whole bunch of USB devices plugged in, which doesn't always happen on point-of-sale computers.
I've had it with where it turns the mouse off and you can't get the mouse back on.
You can't wake it up. So yeah, there are some settings to turn off that power management. It doesn't draw a whole lot of power. It's not color, so it does pretty well.
Okay.
Anybody have any installed out there? So. No comments for the field.
I've got 10 of those working. They work pretty good. We've had 2 of them go out in the last couple of years. Most of them were fired.
Okay, I think that was Ken. You broke up a little bit there, but he's got quite a few installed. You've replaced, I think you said 2 in the past year. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
And you just send them back to Mercury. They send you.
There you go. Mercury will depot them, basically. You send them back and they'll send you a new one. Well, thank you for coming. If there's no other questions, next week we have Mike Tabor with the ID Tech Sign and Pay. That it's a nice little device. Again, these are all pretty simple to install. That's all these devices are getting simpler and simpler as we've gone on. So thank you very. Oh.
Lisa Boss told me to tell you hello.
Oh, well, thank you everyone for coming today.